Hello, everybody. My recording didn't say this has been recorded this time, so I hope it works. Anyway, I want to say a massive thank you for being here. This is the Stripology podcast. I'm your host, Wendy, and this is the 69th episode, which is really crazy to think because, it's been going for just over a year, but it took me 2 years. 2 years to bring it into life. It's something that I wanted to do for so long, and I've talked about this before. But it's scary. It was scary. But fast forward to right now, and we're at episode 69. So thank you for being here. This podcast is designed for your ear to hear as you're getting ready for work. Hopefully it gives you a little G up and a little momentum for your night. And what I really want to talk about in this episode is just the passion that I have for putting all of this out there for you guys to listen to. In my own personal journey with stripping, it wasn't just easy initially, same with doing this podcast, same with so many things that we do. And so there's little moments that I know from experience that we all go through when we're getting ready for a night at work. And some of us have a more clear kind of, routine for getting ready for work. For me, I feel like the older I got, the more that routine needed to have certain things included, like naps and things like that. But there's a moment where we're going to be doing our makeup. We're going to be kind of transitioning from the day, because working at night, that in itself is a challenge. And so sort of transitioning into getting ourselves ready for the night that's ahead. And there's this moment, right? Obviously, there's makeup, there's hair, there's getting dressed, and there's that. Let me know if you feel this, because maybe not everyone does, but I know a lot of us do. You get your outfit on and you have that check in the mirror and you're like, outfit check, looking good. But another really important and fun thing to do is like a mindset check. So it's like looking good and then checking in with yourself, like, how am I truly feeling? Like, what do I want to be feeling in order to approach this night? Like, what is that feeling? And when we tap into that and strengthen it by repetition, there can be such a certainty there where you kind of like, it's individual for everyone, but when you make contact with yourself and you kind of like, I've got this, you're backing yourself. It's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like excitement, like full blown certainty that I'm going to smash the night. I'm going to do anything and everything that I can. There's not going to be a stone left unturned. And I'm ready for the challenge. The challenge is going to be fun. And it's like, bring it. I'm ready to eat up those no's like Pac-Man. I'm ready to just do my thing, not with a force, not with a overcompensating confidence, but just with that true confidence of certainty that I have what it takes. I know what it takes. And so these are feelings that are really fun. And I just want to put a reminder out there that people purchase from their emotions. They purchase from what they're feeling. Confidence is contagious. Our energy is contagious. And so, like I've been talking about a lot in the academy and also on this podcast, like, things are reciprocal. We can feel that. Like, if we're getting really affected by the way that the customers are coming across to us, and we're really relying on that, like, evidence that they're going to spend, and then we get excited, we can start the ball rolling. So as fun as an outfit check is, I just really want to bring to the table here the mindset check. So certainty, there's episodes previously about this, but certainty carries us so far, and it carries us through needing to persist, because that's a part of sales. So statistically, 85% roughly, you hear different figures, but someone's decision to spend is usually around 80% the emotion, the feeling that they have, and about 15% logic. So it's so important to play with that and to really get in the energy yourself, to what you want to kind of reflect out into the world and what you want to experience yourself, and sort of, you know, creating that space. And it doesn't have to be excitement. It can be an intention of, you know, really meeting your customer where they're at, and, you know, doing what you can to make sure that they have the best time possible for them in the way that suits them. And so, yeah, I just want to really put out there, like, a fun little layer to add to the outfit check is the mindset check. How are you feeling? What energy do you want to bring to the floor when you enter it, and continue for the whole evening? Because I guarantee you that that is one of the hardest parts, you know. And say we get to the early hours of like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., whatever. Because what we do is 100% commission, and a lot of dancers, and, you know, we're all up against just such a huge array of things that can affect us, right? But if we can maintain the same focus that we step onto the floor with to the end of the night, you're going to shine like a star. Because a lot of the time, people are getting tired, people are getting complacent, or, you know, it's just so many things can come up, you know, like over it, tired, stuck in a rut, like the thoughts are beating them, like all these things. But if you can just hone back into that initial mindset check and let's get ready to rock and roll, the more often you tap into that during the night, the stronger it's going to get, and the more easily you're going to be able to tap into it. And sometimes, and most of the time, in fact, at those wee hours of the morning, when there's a vibe going on, if you can cut through that and maintain your own vibe and energy that you want to bring to the table, that is magnetic, that is noticed, you know. So I really just want to bring that tool out at the moment, and have a play with it. Doesn't need to be serious, doesn't need to be heavy. It's just like a moment with yourself, to have fun with yourself, and, you know, just feel that, because there's such a difference with letting all of the things that happen in the night to then pile on top of us and start feeling, you know, demotivated or discouraged. So, being the 69th episode, I just want to talk about a few things that I've got going on. My VA and I have been working really hard behind the scenes. As I mentioned, look, I've come a long way with technology, but still, you know, it's not one of my strengths at all. So my wonderful VA has been helping me compile all of the freebies that I've got, and we're finding more and more. I've been going through the Google Drive recently, and there's just so many things I've forgotten about in there. So there's a whole range of freebies out there. So if you are on my Instagram, check out my link tree. There's now a new freebie section where you can find meditations. I want to talk about these meditations because I get a lot of feedback and I put a lot of time into them. Well, I didn't actually, they just flowed out of me, but then I had to record them, and I recorded them with a professional in his recording studio, and he made the beats and everything for me, which was really fun and also such a different experience. But there's two there that are created for before you head into work. They're roughly 12 minutes, and one is about confidence, one is about abundance. And so if you want to get in the energy of that, if you want to really start strengthening your, you know, routine before work, your mindset, if you know this is something that's like feeling a little bit like, look, we can all tweak and improve things. And a lot of the time it just takes that little bit of dedication, right? So these are just some things that can really help the mind to open up and accept the possibilities. There's a lot of NLP in there. There's a lot of language that's going to help you to land in that place of like feeling that excitement if you are someone that is like, I want to feel that, but I just don't. Or you're someone that does and you just love getting in that space more and more because you know that it strengthens it for you. Then we have 2 for after work. So one is just like a deep rest and restoration. Letting your body just go of everything and getting that deep rest. So the ones before work, I bring you back out of the meditation so you can feel energized and ready. The 2 for after work, they don't, they just fade out and they're designed for the most restful sleep. I've gone for really deep beats behind them as well that bring you into such a restful state. It's all really intentional. And the one that's called gratitude is for if you did have a difficult night and you want to let that shit go. Because as much as we can talk about, you know, finishing a night and knowing that you did everything that you possibly can to have a good night, and you're still kicking yourself in the butt, we don't want that. It's a waste of energy. It's so hard. It's addictive. It's addictive, this, you know, putting yourself down and, you know, victim mentality. It's such an addiction. And so it's like, let's not go there. Let's let it go. So again, we use a lot of techniques to assist in just letting that go and allowing yourself to have the most restful rest after work. Because let's face it, they're insane hours and we need to support ourselves as much as possible. So there's other free workshops, and have a browse. I really recommend you having a browse. If you're in my private Facebook group, they are pinned at the top and there's other resources in there. If you're not on Facebook, that's why I want them to be available in a really easeful way on Instagram. And also, if you are in Facebook, there's revisit them. They're pinned at the top, but there's also other resources in that group as well that I'm going to add to in the near future, because there's a lot of exciting things coming up. I'm currently negotiating with a couple of different clubs, not negotiating, we're planning. I'm doing private workshops in different clubs around Australia. So the first one in Adelaide that I did about a month ago, a little bit over, was really, really cool. It got great feedback. It was fun. It was just such a nice environment and a safe space for us to all kind of talk about like our experience at work and what we want to work on and the things that can help us at work, because we're in an industry that doesn't provide trainings, and most other industries do. They have regular trainings. They have so many resources. They have even departments that support people when they're struggling. And this industry is one that obviously I'm just so passionate about providing what I can to support the people in this industry, because we need it. You know, there's so much that can happen in even one single shift, you know, and so there just needs to be that support, that education, that training. And so I'm so excited to be working with clubs now and bringing that to currently around Australia, different clubs in Australia. So, you know, these workshops are just available for the dancers that have the space to ask those questions, have the space to have peer support, have the space to really get focused on their work as a career. Because for me, there's so many reasons I'm so passionate about this, but one of the major ones obviously is the degree that it changed my life. This industry changed my life so much on so many levels, like not only financially, but like spiritually, you know, just as a person evolving, so many benefits. And yeah, I'm just so passionate to put it out there because this is the time, like when you're in this industry, this is the time to have fun with it and play with what is possible, because so much is possible. Like like I've mentioned before, you know, I've gone from being homeless at some points, living on my friend's couch as well, whilst I was at uni, like moving constantly, being so dysregulated and unstable, still working on these things, but to create an environment where like I have a beautiful home that I love, a couple of houses, in fact, with this current housing situation, you know, I just see month by month the value increasing and being able to work on the houses, and it just brings so much joy. I mean, everyone has different values, you know, whether it's travel, like I've traveled internationally, I don't know how many times, but it's in the tens, but you know, just being able to do the things that this career brings the opportunity for, you know, it brings it to you. And because there is no ceiling, there is no limit, you're self-employed, you have the opportunity to fucking crush it, and you have the opportunity to work for yourself. You are not on a salary. Salary is nice, it's comfortable, it's assured, but I don't know, call me crazy, but it's even more fun to play in the realms of possibility and you versus you versus you, having fun with that, seeing what you're capable of. So again, 69th episode, I'm doing a sale on all of my mini courses. So I've mentioned the freebies. I highly encourage you to dive into them, see if you enjoy them. There's some there that can really gear you towards a faster, smoother sale. And then the next step is, you know, these mini courses. They get amazing feedback. There's a range of different topics, and they're all going to be $69 for a week. So this episode is coming out on Friday. So for a whole week, all of my mini courses are $69. So I highly recommend taking advantage of that. They're really informative. There's so much there. There's also a PDF for a workbook for you if you want to sit there and take your time to revisit it and go through it and really, you know, here's some, maybe for me, I love statistics, having a science background, you know, some statistics that help you, some sales strategies, some mindset techniques, so many things, but there's a big range of topics. So yeah, I really recommend having a look at that. $69, absolute fucking bargain, because a lot of the time people come back and they're like, that changed my night, that changed my weekend, that changed, you know, so many things. And another one I mentioned last week is the Hustle Health Check. So I don't mean to sound like a dickhead, but one of my superpowers is definitely helping people analyze their hustle and their strengths, their weaknesses, and really looking at like, look, let's look at an action plan that's going to help you, support you to sell your dances with more ease. There's so many tweaks we can do. And I just absolutely love that. And the success rate there is phenomenal. So it's just really fun. Sometimes it's just a reminder. Sometimes it's just a tweak. Sometimes it's a whole new idea or a whole new perspective. But when we get into the nitty gritty of like, Paul, what feedback are you getting from your customers? Like, how do you normally handle this? How are you pitching your sale? Let's look at these things. We can quite quickly diagnose some really key elements that are going to help you to make more sales, which means more income. And that's included in the sales. So your Hustle Health Check as well is going to be $69. They're super fun. I love doing them. I love doing them any day of the week, but Fridays are super fun because it's stepping into the weekend. But I'm just putting that out there because I have so much fun with my clients, you know, checking in and being like, cool, how did that tweak? How did that new approach? How did that, whatever it was that was needed, help? And it's like game changer, game changer. So for 1 week, we've got all of the mini courses on sale for $69, all of the video content, the PDF workbooks, and the Hustle Health Check, all $69. And if you want to get a little taste, if you've never worked with me, I would say a majority of the people I work with are repeat clients, and, you know, people that I love working with because I see their journey and I see how much they excel it's just so wild. I'm currently at the moment cheering on so many people that are smashing goals that felt scary even just a month ago. Scary to even mention the possibility. And it's like, actually, I'm well above it already. And it's like, I wish I did this sooner. I wish that I honed down on what's possible, because seriously, there is just so much opportunity in this industry. I hope you have a fantastic night. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'm going to tune in next week. But remember, this sale is on for a whole week. So jump in. I can't wait to work with you. If you have any questions, reach out, ask me. I'm always here to support you. One thing that I love more than what the industry has done for me is supporting other people to change their lives and see how the industry can support them as well. So I'll talk to you soon. Okay, and yeah, all right, bye.